Speaking section. The speaking section tests your ability to communicate in English in an academic setting. During the test, you will be presented with 4 speaking questions. The questions ask for a response to a single question, a talk, or a lecture. The prompts and questions are presented on time. You may take notes as you listen, but notes are not graded. You may use your notes to answer the questions. Some of the questions ask for a response to a reading passage and a talk or a lecture. The reading passages and the questions are written, but the directions will be spoken. Your speaking will be evaluated on both the fluency of the language and the accuracy of the content. You will have 15 to 20 seconds to prepare and 45 to 60 seconds to respond to each question. Typically, a good response will require all of the response time and the answer will be complete by the end of the response time. You will have about 17 minutes to complete the speaking section. A clock on the screen will show you how much time you have to prepare each of your answers and how much time you have to record each response.
You will now be asked a question about a familiar topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to plan your response and 45 seconds to speak.
Do you agree that leadership cannot be learned and instead comes naturally?
You will now read a short passage and then listen to a conversation on the same topic. You will then be asked a question about the passages. After you hear the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. You have 45 seconds to read the passage below.
Listen to 2 students discussing this article.
Wow, free student theater productions? That's awesome. I love going to plays, but tickets can be expensive, especially for students.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity to see a wider variety of shows without breaking the bank. I remember wanting to go to that student musical last semester, but the ticket price held me back.
Right? Free admission will definitely encourage more people to attend. The more audience support, the better for the student actors and crew, right?
Exactly. A bigger audience creates a more energetic atmosphere, which can be motivating for the performers. Plus, having a diverse audience with different backgrounds and perspectives could be inspiring for the student theater groups.
That's a good point. It reminds me of my friend who goes to a university with a similar program. He says the free theater nights are always packed, and it creates a real sense of community spirit on campus.
See? This could be a game changer for student theater at our university. More people experiencing the shows could lead to greater interest and participation in the future. Imagine all the talented students who might get involved because they saw a production and were inspired.
You're absolutely right. Free admission seems like a win-win for everyone. Students get to enjoy high-quality theater for free, and the student theater program gets a much-needed boost in audience and potentially new talent.
The woman expresses her opinion about the proposal described in the letter. Briefly summarize the proposal. Then state her opinion about the proposal and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
You will now read a short passage and then listen to a lecture on the same topic. You will then be asked a question about the passage. After you hear the question, you have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. You have 45 seconds to read the passage below. You may begin reading now.
Now listen to part of a lecture in a biology class. Today, we will delve into the concept of foracy and explore an intriguing example from the animal kingdom. Foracy involves one organism utilizing another organism for transportation without causing harm or receiving direct benefits. To illustrate this, let's consider the relationship between the loggerhead turtle and the remora fish. In the vast oceans, loggerhead turtles serve as hosts for remora fish. The remoras have a specialized dorsal fin that acts as a suction cup, enabling them to attach themselves to the turtle's shell. By hitching a ride on the turtle, remoras gain access to new feeding grounds and potential prey. In return, the turtle is unaffected by this arrangement and continues its regular activities. This example showcases the essence of foracy, where one organism benefits from the transportation provided by another, without causing any harm or receiving reciprocal advantages.
Explain how the example from the professor's lecture illustrates the concept of foracy.
You will now listen to part of a lecture. You will then be asked a question about it. After you hear the question, you will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Listen to part of a lecture in a history class.
Today, we will explore the economic changes that occurred in ancient civilizations. Over time, various factors and developments shaped the economic systems of these societies. Let me provide you with 2 examples to illustrate these transformations. One significant economic change can be observed in the transition from subsistence agriculture to specialized production. In early civilizations, such as ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, agricultural practices were primarily geared towards self-sufficiency. However, as these societies grew and became more complex, specialization emerged. Individuals began to focus on specific crafts or occupations, such as pottery making, metalworking, or weaving. This shift led to the development of trade networks, as surplus goods were exchanged between regions, fostering economic interdependence. Another notable economic change occurred with the introduction of coinage. Ancient Greece is a prime example of this development. Prior to the use of coins, barter systems and commodity money were prevalent. However, the adoption of standardized coins as a medium of exchange revolutionized economic transactions. Coins facilitated trade, promoted economic growth, and simplified the valuation of goods and services. This innovation not only transformed the economic landscape, but also had profound social and cultural implications.
Using the examples from the lecture, explain 2 ways that economic changes occurred in ancient civilizations.